In my previous video where I evidenced the incessant narrative of the vilification of Sir Lewis Hamilton at Silverstone 2021, I stated that this is going to be reported to the police as a hate crime because what they perpetrated incited the online abuse of Sir Lewis Hamilton, along with the abuse of anybody who stood up to defend him. So, this is the process. You will see now me making the complaint to the police, and this is the process that I hope many of you will be willing to follow. I will show you exactly what I'm doing and exactly what you need to do if you are willing to do the same. So, firstly, Red Bull are based in Milton Kings, and so when I looked there, which police force covers Milton Keynes? It's Thames Valley Police. So if I go onto the Thames Valley Police website, I've also already slightly progressed this, but I'm going to start from scratch so that you can see. You go onto their webpage, Thames Valley Police Force, report, and we can go down here, click on report, and then select the option hate crime. There is an option for fraud there, and it's likely that I'm going to report that, but I'll make sure I do a clear up-to-date video exposing the true nature of the fraud. But we'll do the hate crime report first. So, is this an emergency? No, it's not. Okay. Is it happening now? Is the suspect still at the scene, or is anyone seriously injured or in immediate danger? No. Is this about something that has happened or is going to happen? It has happened. Where did this happen? At a specific location or online? Right, we're going to put online here, and the reason is I don't know whether they cover Silverstone, but actually the online abuse has been online in nature. Next one. Do you know the identity of the person posting the material? Yes, we do. Well, we know who's incited it. Do you know where the offender was when this happened? Yes, we do. Where do you think they might have been? If you're not sure, give the closest location you can. And it asks for a postcode. The postcode to put in is M for Mike, K for Kilo, 7, 8, B for Bravo, J for Juliet. And when you hit return on that, what you get is, you'll see here, oops, not doing that very well, the RedBull Racing team in Milton Keynes. Okay, that is where it locates to. So that's correct, yes. Okay, so what it then allows us to do, it says, thank you, you can report this to us online. Click start below to begin. Average completion time 10 minutes. We'll ask you for the following information: your details or the details of the person you're reporting on behalf of, what happened including the time and date, whether you have any evidence, details of any witnesses, details of any suspects, and please note it's not a 24-hour emergency service. So we're going to click start on that. Report online hate crime where the individual's identity is known. Okay, so I'm going to fill in my details here. This is where you fill in your details. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to put this on YouTube, so I'm going to pause the video now whilst I do that, and then I'll click onto the next screen and I'll pick this up once my details have been filled in. Okay, so there was another screen where it asked for further contact details such as email address or phone number. You're welcome to leave those if you wish to. I did, so we'll see if they contact me back. Your role. I'm reporting this. I'm a witness. I'm also a victim in as much that I've received a ridiculous amount of abuse as a result of standing up for the truth. So, but for this instance, I'm going to put that I'm the witness, and we'll see what happens next. Okay, incident details. Please tell us as much as you can to help us understand what happened. Has anybody reported this already? I don't know. Probably not. When did you see the material? Please answer as accurately as you can if you're not 100% sure. So when did you see the material? It was the 18th of the 7th, 2021, which was the date of the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. We'll just double check that. Yeah, 18th of July 2021. So we'll go back to reporting it. If you're unsure about the date, please give a few details so we know that. Okay. You gave this. Is the address correct? Yes. What was the offensive material? So what I've done, I've already pre-typed this out. So I will paste this onto there now. I'm going to paste this in the description to this video. So if you would like to use the same description, it's easy for you to just copy and paste what is in the description box, and you can copy and paste that onto this form for an easy way of completing it. So what I've done, I'm going to enlarge this so you can see, is written this. On the 18th of the 7th, 2021, 3 individuals from the RedBull Racing Formula 1 team, namely Christian Horner, Jonathan Wheatley and Helmut Marko, and at least 6 members of the SkySports F1 broadcasting team, which include Martin Brundle, David Croft, Karun Chandhok, Ted Kravitz, Jenson and Damon Hill, perpetrated a hate crime which directly caused the online abuse, much of which was of a racial nature, of the British sportsman Sir Lewis Hamilton. Tens, if not hundreds of thousands of fans of, I've put off twice, I'll get rid of that, of the sport have also been subjected to online abuse as a result of a false narrative being presented to the world. The so-called sport of Formula One and its contracted media served to vilify one man. Not only was the vilification entirely the opposite of the truth, it was done so in the knowledge of known dynamics. Only 1 week previous, the media headlines were reporting the racial abuse suffered by a number of England's black footballers after the European Championship final held at Wembley Stadium. Never before have I witnessed the systematic vilification of an individual sporting competitor, even when they've been guilty of misconduct. In this situation, Sir Lewis Hamilton was an innocent party who was singled out, and a narrative was created to vilify him. This hate crime further radicalised and incited the worst of mankind to target both Sir Lewis Hamilton with their abuse, along with anyone who stood in his defence. These vile, toxic individuals all need to be made an example of. They are in positions of influence and by design seek to divide society for corrupt purposes. All individuals identified here are also guilty of perpetrating one of the largest global frauds ever witnessed. The 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix was a fraud. Sky Sports, the FIA, F1 TV, Red Bull and several others were all involved. So far, the UK Serious Fraud Office refuses to investigate, most likely due to corruption and the influence of so-called elites, ensuring that there is no consequence for fraud. All is being evidenced on the YouTube channel Fixed F1 XED, as media is so entirely corrupt, it has just served to convince people of a false narrative. Please ensure that these criminals are brought to justice. Here is the evidence of the wrongful vilification of public lynching of Sir Lewis Hamilton, which incited the hate. And there's a link to the video, which was my last video, with all of that evidence that was broadcast to a global audience that wrongly vilified Sir Lewis Hamilton for what took place at the 2021 Silverstone Grand Prix. So if I then come down to here, having done that, has anyone involved been targeted by the offender or offenders before? Well, the truth is Yes, because it's been an ongoing campaign of hatred from Red Bull to, well, in creating this false narrative and this abuse, this toxicity within the online fan base of Formula One continues to happen, and it continues to happen as a result of what they did. So I'm putting yes. So, do you have any evidence, such as an email or screenshots? Yes. Okay, please keep this available. We may ask for it later. The nature of the online abuse will be available to the police to see. There is the BBC article. Okay, the BBC have written about the fact that Sir Lewis Hamilton received online abuse. We can all refer to the abuse that we have received ourselves in standing up for Lewis Hamilton. My channel evidences the type of abuse that we receive for that, for standing up for the truth. The abuse that we receive is evidenced on my channel. You see why I haven't deleted the trolls yet? Okay, that's just part of it. Okay, that's just part of it. But they don't understand. So, describe what evidence you have. Okay, the next part is to describe the evidence that you have. And so I've put, there's a BBC report exposing the online hate. And I've also put, I've got thousands of online abuse comments on Facebook and YouTube. Now, personally, I've received probably in excess of 20,000 abusive comments since Abu Dhabi 2021. That's probably a conservative estimate. I spent a year on Facebook campaigning, and in doing so, I wrote lots of articles and I posted them on around 50 to 60 Formula One Facebook fan groups, and the amount of abuse that I received was ridiculous. I've now been on YouTube for over a year, and you can all see the abusive comments that are left in the comment section. Okay, they are like water off a duck's back. If you think you as a troll are going to impact me, you are wrong. I stand for what's right, and I am not going to be deterred from standing for what is right by little scroats in the comment section. So, quite frankly, fuck you. So when you press submit there, it says suspects. Please provide as much information about any suspects you can. This includes anything from usernames as well as other digital coordinates, known IP addresses. So we're not going to go in at this stage into reporting the individuals who troll on social media, okay? They are small fry, they're nothing, okay? Turds of human beings they are. We're talking about the main perpetrators who incited the tiny minds like that, okay? Do you know this person? Yes, I know them. Well, I don't know them personally, but we know. I've had to edit this because I have put in 3 suspects here. Suspect 1 was Horner, suspect 2 is Jonathan Wheatley, suspect 3 is Helmut Marko. But when I fill in these fields, up comes some of the auto-fill data, which had some of my personal details on that I don't want appearing on YouTube. But there are 3 suspects that I have listed. I'm just fast-forwarding past that section just so that my personal details don't appear on YouTube. But you need to trust me, Horner, Wheatley and Marko are the 3 suspects listed. So there's suspect 1, Christian Horner. The address I've given for Horner is care of MK7 8BJ, which is the Red Bull headquarters. It asks who the suspects are connected to, so I've put each of the other 2 suspects, Wheatley and Marko, are connected to Horner as being colleagues. For some reason I put a lowercase d in there. I think that was when I was trying to pause the recording. When you click next, it takes you to like the form summary, which again I've had to just edit slightly because at the top of it had all my personal details. and then brings you down to this. Okay, shows you what you filled in on the form, so that all my details don't become visible on the internet. But then click submit. Report online hate. So thank you. What we have here is a reference number TV32114244343IR. Okay, so that's reported. I hope that there will be many of you that watch this video that are willing to do the same. If you want to make changes in this world, if you want to see people held to account for their actions, you have to do something. As we can see, this doesn't happen of its own accord. The systems that are in place to enforce rules for justice, for upholding what is right and what is wrong, don't operate effectively. So the only way is to hold those systems to account, to make them do their job. Hate has been perpetrated by the perpetrators listed, and they need to be held account for it. So do your bit to push for them being held to account for it. So please, if you're willing to do so, take the time to submit a report, and let's see if those that have the ability and power to hold these people to account actually do so. And the other thing is, let's see if the media report on this. They're quite happy to report on this case of inappropriate conduct in the workplace by Horner. That's their narrative. How about, will they report on a true crime that can be evidenced, that we can all see that took place? Are they going to talk to us about that and expose that? Let's see. Thanks for your time.